Hey everybody, Brian Meara, the short sale Stallion here. Wanted to make a quick video. We're here in the mountains of northern Italy and wanted to talk to you, wanted to make a brief video about exactly what it is that we do. You know, a lot of times we get questions from homeowners, we get questions from realtors asking us, well, how exactly do you help in a short sale? What do you do? What is the process? And it's actually very simple. I wanted to just explain exactly what we do. A homeowner, obviously, going to step one, if someone is going to need a short sale, it's because they're not paying their mortgage. Now, why they're not paying their mortgage, there's a lot of reasons. You know, an adjustable rate went up, maybe there's a divorce, an illness, job transfer, a lot of different reasons. But the point is, when someone stops paying their mortgage, normally after 3 months the bank initiates a lawsuit. It's how they start to take the house back, and they file a notice of default, and then after a certain period of time, eventually they're going to take the house, okay? A short sale is a better alternative because there's no foreclosure on the credit record. There's no short sale on the credit record. What we do, what happens in a short sale is that it's a settled account. So your credit will take a hit. You're going to have your missed payments up until the house sells, but then normally 2 to 3 years later you can rebuild your credit and actually buy another house and become a homeowner again, which is actually obviously the goal of most people going through this unfortunate situation. If you have a foreclosure, that's on your record for 10 years. You're not getting a house anytime soon. So that's the major advantage to a homeowner. Let's prevent the foreclosure. You know, there's 2 parameters that we need just to do a short sale. You have to be behind on payments. If you're currently making your payments, it's not going to work because 99% of the lenders, they don't feel threatened. They don't really see a reason to discount your debt until you give them a reason to, which basically stop paying them. So you have to be behind on payments at least 1 month, okay? The second thing is you have to have negative equity. You have to owe more on the home than what it can currently sell for in today's market. So you have no equity. There's no money left in the house. If you meet those 2 parameters, you're pretty much a good candidate for a short sale. Yeah, there's other things too, like you have to have a legitimate hardship. What happened, you know, you're going to have to write a hardship letter and explain why you're in this situation. Most people don't just stop paying because they don't feel like it. Something happened, okay? And the bank just wants to know why. And in another video, we'll go through all the videos, or excuse me, the list of exactly what's needed in a short sale. But for this video, the purpose is just to explain how we're involved and what we do. Now, as a real estate agent and an investor, I've closed hundreds, literally hundreds of these transactions over the last 3.5 years, okay? More so now as an investor. I'm not an active realtor anymore. I do have my license, but, you know, owning this company, what we do now is we process short sales, okay? And on the investing side, when it makes sense, we buy the home and resell it for a profit, okay? Think about it like this. You're going to list your house for sale. It's going to be a short sale. A listing agent has 2 choices. You can do it my way or you can do it the traditional way. The traditional way says this: sign all the paperwork, put the sign on the lawn, and wait for a buyer. The problem with that is that you have to disclose in the MLS when you advertise the house that it's a short sale. Now, most buyer's agents, which are the realtors representing the potential buyers, they don't want to show short sales because they know it's a very long process. On average, it takes about 4 to 7 months. So if you bring your client to a home that's a short sale, you put it in an offer, it goes to the bank, you know, what buyer is going to wait around that long? None. So if the approval comes at that price, when it comes, 9 times out of 10 the buyer's gone. They just feel like they wasted a lot of time. So yeah, most buyer's agents really don't even want to show short sales, okay? That's number one. The other thing is every day you're marching closer towards the actual sale of the house in the form of an auction, of a sheriff's sale. Because the bank can't start to negotiate with you. The bank can't start to, you know, look at the package and analyze the deal of how much will we accept and, you know, are we going to accept this until you present them something, which is an agreement of sale. You can't just give a bank an offer. Well, I'll give you this, a 1-page offer. That doesn't work. You need a full agreement of sale, a contract, signed by the seller, signed by the buyer, all the supporting documentation. It has to be a very good, thorough, complete package that they can actually review and make their determination, okay? So without a contract, you don't go anywhere. Where we get involved in how we help both the homeowner and the listing agent is very simple. We act as the buyer. We're going to put an offer in right away. We're going to sign paperwork with the seller in distress. So the person who's not making their payments, we put together a contract. We put together an actual purchase contract where we're going to buy the house, okay? We take all that together, we send it into the bank. We have a team of professional negotiators who will work with the bank, do all the negotiations, all the paperwork back and forth, follow each step of the process until the bank counters and says, okay, we'll take this price. Now, at that point, it's real simple. If it's a good discounted price and it makes sense for us, we'll buy the house. We'll buy it. Now, we don't want to live there, but we're going to buy it and we're going to resell it, obviously for a markup, which is how we make some money. Now, doesn't happen in all the cases, and that's fine. But on the ones that we do buy and then resell, we use the same listing agent. So if it's not listed yet, we'll go under contract, we'll negotiate, we'll buy the house, and then we'll resell it using the listing agent. So if we create two transactions, when we buy and when we sell, of course we're going to compensate the realtor for both transactions. So in a sense, the realtor gets to double their commission if it works out that way, which is great, but the best part is for the realtors, they don't have to do the negotiating. And frankly, most realtors should not be doing negotiating, okay? Realtors are not trained loss mitigators. They don't know how to discount debts. They don't know what to do with an FHA. What about a second, junior lien holder? What if it's a VA loan? I mean, there's a lot of parameters involved. It's really not the realtor's job, but a traditional listing agent has to assume that role, which according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, the average realtor is only closing around 25-30% of their short sales. That would mean that about 70-75% are going to sheriff's sale. They don't get paid, the homeowner has a foreclosure on their record, and it's not working, okay? We personally are closing around 5 deals consistently every month, month in and month out. We close over 90% of our deals because we know what we're doing. We have an entire team of professional negotiators, most of which have at least 4, but preferably up to 6 years of experience doing nothing but this, okay? So we have a 90% success rate. So we're going to take that burden away from the listing agent who really shouldn't be doing it anyway. So we're going to increase the success of getting a good negotiation. We take away the hard work, the heavy lifting for the listing agent, and again, when possible, we double their commission if we buy and resell. Now let's say the bank comes back with a figure and it doesn't make sense for us to buy it. It's no problem. Once the bank approves a certain price, that listing agent is going to begin to market the property. We don't want to market it now. Remember, buyer's agents don't want to show it anyway. We're going to keep it, we say, on ice. We're going to ice the property and keep it pending in a pending status because it has to go up on the MLS for the bank. We're just going to pend it. Once the bank, comes and does an appraisal or they send out a BPO agent, a broker price opinion to kind of get the value, they're going to counteroffer my offer. And they're going to say, okay, well, we're not going to take your offer, but we'll buy it, we'll let you buy it for this. Well, once we know where the bank is at mentally, we can now change the listing in the MLS to say bank approved short sale, put the price that we know what the bank will accept, and wait for a buyer. Now the buyer's agents are willing to show the property because now it says it's a bank approved short sale. We can normally close from that point within 30 days. It's not a problem at that point to find a buyer because the buyer's agents want to show it, okay? But we did all that work to get it up to that point. So again, even if we don't buy and resell, we're going to make it so that the listing agent is actually able to sell the house. So they're going to get paid, and the homeowner is not going to have the foreclosure on their credit record, okay? It's that simple. When we buy and resell, we call that an A to B, B to C transaction. A is always your seller in distress, the person who owns the home. B would be us. So A to B, that's one transaction, completely independent where we buy it. Well, now if we're going to resell it, B, which is us again, resells to C. So you have an A to B, B to C. If the numbers just don't make sense, and again, this is a business. I mean, obviously, if there's no difference between what the bank wants and what we can sell it for, we're not going to buy it. So we just don't buy it. We back out of the equation, and it goes from A to C. So a lot of times you'll hear me talking about an A to B, B to C, or an A to C transaction. And that's the difference, okay? An A to C is when it just doesn't make sense for us to buy it, but we still negotiated it, the house still sells, the homeowner does not have a foreclosure on their credit record, they walk free and clear, the realtor gets paid, the community is better because they don't have another boarded up house that's going to be a bank-owned property, and everybody wins. So guys, that's what we do in a nutshell. Yes, it's a lot more involved than that. We have over 80 active files in the pipeline right now. More new deals coming in every week because all we do is we spread the word with listing agents. Hey, you want to do the work yourself or do you want to let us do it? In a perfect world, you're going to get paid twice. If not, we're going to get you paid. We're going to do all the work. That's what we do. That's our specialty, and I hope that helps. We'll talk to you soon, guys. We're here in the mountains of northern Italy, and that's one last thing I want to mention. We have such a strong team, such an incredible team that we've built. Okay, we've networked with the best attorneys, the best title companies in the country to create what we created so that I can live in this country, Italy, in the mountains of northern Italy 3 months of the year. Not for 3 months solid, but normally January, May, and September. I live in Italy. I'm not even in America. We're closing deals left and right, bringing in new deals because we have a perfect system that has been fine-tuned over the last 3 years that works. We have a ton of referrals. We have a ton of testimonies from the sellers that were in distress, the buyers who bought the home at a great price, all the realtors we've worked with, attorneys, brokers, mortgage companies, you name it. We can provide referrals and testimonies all day long. So guys, I hope that helps, and we'll be checking again soon. We'll be making some new videos. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.